The wind moves low across the valley floor, stirring dust into small ghosts. Silas walks behind his goat, the faint clink of her bell the only sound in the wide silence. The sun is low, bleeding gold into the cracks of the earth ells. He is 65, beard silvered at the edges, eyes the color of storm-washed stone. Every evening he follows the same path home, but tonight the goat stops. She lowers her head, ears twitching, staring at a patch of earth darker than the rest. Silas kneels. His fingers find cold iron. A ring, rusted, half-buried, big enough for a man's wrist. He pulls. The ground resists, then gives. A trapdoor, wooden, bound with iron, appears. He brushes away dirt. Letters are carved into the wood, faded but deliberate. Only the bell opens what the valley keeps. His heart knocks once, hard, against his ribs. He looks around. Nothing but empty land and the first star. The goat nudges him, impatient. Silas lifts the ring. The door is heavy, hinges screaming like old bones. Below, stone steps spiral down into darkness. Cool air rises, smelling of earth and cedar smoke. He lights his lantern. The flame trembles, throwing gold across walls slick with moisture. He descends. The goat follows, bell chiming soft against stone. The steps are worn smooth, as if countless feet have passed this way. Dust hangs in the air, undisturbed for centuries. At the bottom, a passage narrow, straight, ending in a wall of fitted stone. Silas runs his hand along the wall. His fingers find a groove circular the size of the iron ring. He fits the ring. Turns with a click that echoes like a heartbeat. The wall grinds inward, revealing a chamber no larger than his barn. In the center stands a vault. Iron, tall as his shoulder, its door etched with a goat's head, bell around its neck. The goat circles the vault, sniffs the door, then sits, eyes steady on Silas. He approaches. The lantern light catches runes around the goat's head. Tiny, precise, glowing faintly. His breath fogs in the chill. On the vault's base, a single line. The bell must ring true. Silas lifts the goat's bell from her neck. It is warm, heavier than memory. He holds it to the goat's head on the door. The metal touches metal. A low hum rises, steady as a pulse. The vault trembles. The door swings open without sound. Inside, darkness, but not empty. Silas raises the lantern. Shelves line the walls. Clay jars sealed with wax, bundles of dried herbs. A child's wooden goat painted white. In the center, a stone table. On it, a leather pouch, stiff with age, sealed with red wool. The goat bleats once, soft, and noses the pouch. Silas lifts it. The wool unravels at his touch. Inside, a roll of bark paper, brittle as frost, and a small iron key shaped like a bell. The paper smells of smoke and high desert rain. He unrolls it carefully. Pictographs, goats, valleys, hands raised to sky, interwoven with lines that might be music. At the bottom, a phrase in faded charcoal. Asterisk the valley gave. The valley takes. Return what was borrowed. Asterisk. Silas's lips move without sound. The goat lowers her head, touches the key with her nose. He studies the map etched on the bark. Lines leading from the vault to a place marked with a hollow stone. He tucks the key into his shirt, against his heart. The vault hums, low and steady, the same note as the bell. Silas steps back. The door closes soft as a sigh, sealing with a click. The goat starts up the steps, bell chiming into the dark. Silas follows. They emerge into night. The stars are thick, a river of light above the dark land. He marks the trapdoor with a cairn of stones, whispers a promise to the wind. The goat waits by the path, patient as earth. He walks home beneath the moon. His hut is small, one room, a fire long dead. He lights it now, feeds it juniper and sage. By the flames he studies the bark paper again, tracing the hollow stone with a calloused finger. Sleep does not come. At dawn he packs bread, cheese, a waterskin, the iron key wrapped in cloth. He writes a note for his neighbor. Asterisk gone to the valley's heart. Feed the goat if I am late. Asterisk. The goat stands by the gate, bell silent, eyes liquid with knowing. They leave before the sun clears the ridge. The path west is faint, overgrown with sage and cholya. Heat shimmers off the stones. Silas walks slow, the way old men do when the road is longer than memory. They reach the valley's heart by noon. The ground dips, forming a bowl of red earth, willows growing thick along a dry creek. The goat steps into the bowl, bell chiming clear across the silence. Silas follows. In the center, a stone hollow round as a well, its mouth dark. He kneels. The hollow stone is warm, humming. He places the key in a groove at its rim. Fits perfectly. A low rumble. The stone shifts, revealing steps spiraling down. Cool air rises, carrying the scent of water and cedar. The goat descends first. Silas follows, lantern swinging, shadows leaping like memories. The steps end in a chamber, vast and silent. In the center, a pool, black, still, reflecting the lantern like a second sky. On the pool's edge, a single object. Another pouch, newer leather, sealed with red wool. His name is written on it in charcoal, Silas. His fingers shake as he opens it. Inside, a single seed, black and shining, and a strip of bark with fresh writing. Asterisk. The seed remembers the debt. Plant it where the creek once sang. The vault will open when the goat drinks. Asterisk. The goat lowers her head, touches the seed with her nose. Silas tucks the seed into his shirt, against his heart. The pool ripples, though no wind moves. Rotero revisato calm, mais detals emotionize. The wind moves low across the valley floor, stirring dust into small ghosts that dance like lost souls. Silas walks behind his goat, the faint clink of her bell the only companion in his vast loneliness, a sound that has marked his 65 years of quiet grief. Since his wife left him to the earth 10 winters ago, that bell has been his heartbeat, his only tether to a world that feels increasingly distant. The sun hangs low, bleeding gold into the cracks of the earth, painting his weathered face with fleeting warmth he no longer believes in. Every evening he follows this path home, a ritual born of habit and heartache. But tonight the goat stops abruptly. She lowers her head, ears twitching with an urgency that pierces Silas's numb routine, staring at a patch of earth darker than the rest, as if the ground itself weeps. He kneels, his old knees protesting like forgotten promises, and his fingers, calloused from decades of solitary labor, tremble as they find cold iron. A ring, rusted, half-buried, big enough for a man's wrist, pulls at something deep in his chest, a spark of wonder he thought long extinguished. He pulls. The ground resists with a groan that echoes his own buried sorrows, then yields. A trapdoor, wooden, bound with iron, appears, its surface scarred by time like the lines on his face. Letters carved into the wood emerge under his touch, faded but deliberate. Only the bell opens what the valley keeps. His heart knocks once, hard, against his ribs, awakening a longing he cannot name, a whisper of destiny in the silence of his empty life. He looks around, the vast emptiness mirroring the void inside him since Maria's death. Nothing but empty land and the first star, blinking like a tear held back. The goat nudges him, her warm nose against his hand, a rare gesture of insistence, as if she senses the fragile hope flickering in his soul. In that moment, Silas feels seen, chosen, for the first time in years. Silas lifts the ring, his hands shaking not from age, but from the weight of possibility. The door is heavy, hinges screaming like the cries he swallowed at her grave. Below, stone steps spiral down into darkness, exhaling cool air that smells of earth and cedar smoke, scents that stir memories of Maria's hair after rain. He lights his lantern, the flame trembling like his resolve, casting shadows that dance with his unspoken fears. He descends, each step a surrender to the unknown, the goat's bell chiming soft against stone like a lullaby for his breaking heart. The steps are worn smooth, as if countless feet, souls like his, adrift and yearning, have passed this way. Dust hangs in the air, undisturbed for centuries, settling on his skin like the regrets he carries. At the bottom, a passage narrow, straight, ending in a wall of fitted stone that seems to pulse with a hidden life. Silas runs his hand along the wall, feeling the stone's cool indifference, mirroring his own isolation. His fingers find a groove, circular, the size of the iron ring, and a surge of emotion chokes him. Hope, raw and terrifying. He fits the ring. It turns with a click that echoes like a heartbeat long silent. The wall grinds inward, revealing a chamber that steals his breath. No larger than his barn, yet vast with mystery. In the center stands a vault, iron, tall as his shoulder, its door etched with a goat's head, bell around its neck, eyes staring into his soul. The goat circles it slowly, her own eyes reflecting the lantern's glow, as if recognizing a kindred guardian. She sits, steady and unblinking, and in that gaze, Silas feels an unbreakable bond, a love deeper than words. He approaches, heart pounding with a mix of dread and exhilaration. The runes around the goat's head glowing faintly, whispering promises of redemption. His breath fogs in the chill, each exhale a release of years of quiet despair. On the vault's base, a single line, the bell must ring true. Silas lifts the goat's bell from her neck, the metal warm from her body heat, heavy with the weight of their shared solitude. He holds it to the goat's head on the door, and as metal touches metal, a low hum rises, steady as the love he never fully expressed to Maria. The vault trembles, vibrating through his bones like a long-withheld sob. The door swings open without sound, revealing darkness that pulls at him like fate's gentle hand. Silas raises the lantern, tears blurring his vision, illuminating shelves lined with clay jars sealed with wax, bundles of dried herbs fragrant with forgotten healing, a child's wooden goat painted white, innocent, heartbreaking. In the center, a stone table holds a leather pouch, stiff with age, sealed with red wool that reminds him of Maria's scarf. The goat bleats once, soft and urgent, nosing the pouch with a tenderness that breaks Silas's heart open. He lifts it, the wool unraveling like his defenses, and inside, a roll of bark paper, brittle as his fragile hope, and a small iron key shaped like a bell. The paper smells of smoke and high desert rain, evoking nights he held Maria close. He unrolls it carefully, fingers aching with emotion, revealing pictographs, goats, valleys, hands raised to sky, that stir a profound ache of ancestral longing. At the bottom, a phrase in faded charcoal. Asterisk the valley gave. The valley takes. Return what was borrowed. Asterisk. Silas's lips move without sound, the words searing into his soul like a sacred vow. The goat lowers her head, touches the key with her nose, her eyes pleading, trusting. He studies the map etched on the bark, lines leading to a hollow stone, and feels the pull of destiny, a chance to make meaning from his loneliness. He tucks the key into his shirt, against his heart, where Maria's memory resides. The vault hums, low and steady, syncing with his pulse, as if the valley itself breathes with him. Silas steps back, the door closing soft as a sigh of forgiveness. The goat starts up the steps, bell chiming into the dark, calling him to a purpose he never dreamed possible. They emerge into night, stars thick as unshed tears above the dark land. He marks the trapdoor with a cairn of stones, whispering a promise to the wind and to Maria's ghost. The goat waits, patient as unwavering love. Walking home beneath the moon, Silas feels alive, his heart cracking open to hope's fragile light. His hut is small, one room, shadows long with absence. He lights the fire, feeds it juniper and sage, flames dancing like the joy he once knew. By their glow, he traces the hollow stone on the map, each line a thread pulling him from despair. Sleep evades him, replaced by a quiet exultation, the first true peace in years. At dawn he packs bread, cheese, waterskin, the key wrapped like a talisman. He writes for his neighbor, asterisk gone to the valley's heart. Feed the goat if I am late. Asterisk. Words heavy with the fear he might not return. The goat stands by the gate, eyes liquid with unspoken farewell, mirroring his own brimming tears. They leave, stepping into a future woven with faith and fragile dreams. The path west fades into sage and cholya, heat shimmering like his uncertain fate. Silas walks slow, each step burdened yet liberated, the key warm against his skin. By noon, the valley's heart unfolds. A bowl of red earth, willows whispering secrets along a dry creek. The goat steps in, bell ringing clear, a song of invitation to the unknown. In the center, the hollow stone, round as a well, mouth dark and beckoning. Silas kneels, the earth cool against his knees, and places the key in its groove. It fits perfectly, like a missing piece of his soul. A rumble shakes the ground, steps spiraling down, air rising thick with the promise of revelation. The goat descends first, bell chiming like a heartbeat in the dark. Silas follows, lantern swinging, each step a surrender to the pull of something larger than his grief. The stone steps are slick, cool, worn by centuries of hands and hooves. Air thickens with the scent of water and old cedar, wrapping around him like Maria's shawl once did. The spiral ends in a chamber vast as a cathedral, ceiling lost in shadow. In the center, a pool, black, mirror still, reflecting the lantern in a single trembling coin. Silas's breath catches. The goat pauses at the edge, ears forward, eyes liquid with knowing. He kneels, the stone cold against his knees, and feels the valley's pulse beneath him. On the pool's rim, the pouch waits, newer leather, red wool frayed but bright. His name, Silas, carved in charcoal, glows faintly as if the stone itself wrote it. His fingers tremble, not from age, but from the sudden weight of being seen, chosen, remembered. He opens it slowly, reverently, the wool unraveling like the last threads of his loneliness. Inside, the seed, black and shining, warm as a living coal against his palm. And the bark strip, fresh, words burned deep. Asterisk the seed remembers the debt. Plant it where the creek once sang. The vault will open when the goat drinks. Asterisk. Tears blur the lantern's glow. He blinks them back, but one falls, silver, into the pool. The water ripples, and for a heartbeat, Maria's face looks up at him. Smiling, young, gone. The goat lowers her head, drinks from the pool. The water is sweet, tasting of snowmelt and sage. A low hum rises, steady as a lullaby. The pool brightens, silver light spreading across the chamber walls. Murals appear, faint at first, then vivid. People planting, dancing, a goat leading children to water. Hands raised to sky, mouths open in song. A woman, face like Maria's, but older, places a seed in the earth. The land answers. Grass thickens, creek swells, goats multiply. Silas's throat tightens. He has not sung since her funeral, voice cracked by loss. But the chamber waits, patient as the goat. He begins, soft, cracked, the lullaby he hummed to Maria in her final hours. The goat joins, bell chiming in perfect harmony. The pool ripples again, water rising in a gentle spiral. The seed in his hand pulses, eager. He stands, legs trembling, and follows the goat to the chamber's far wall. A groove in the stone shaped like the seed. He places it there. It sinks, swallowed by rock. A crack appears, thin as a tear. Water seeps through. Clear, cold, tasting of hope. The crack widens. A passage opens, narrow, glowing faintly. The goat steps through without hesitation. Silas follows, lantern raised, heart pounding with a mix of terror and faith. The passage slopes upward, roots threading the ceiling like veins. Water drips, each drop a note in the song he began. The air grows warmer, fragrant with turned earth and distant rain. His shadow stretches ahead, thin as the man he was, thick with the man he is becoming. They emerge into a hidden grove, willows thick, a dry creek bed silver with memory. In its center, a flat stone, etched with the goat's head and bell. The goat circles it, then lies down, head on her paws. Silas kneels, presses his palm to the stone. It is warm, humming. The creek bed trembles. A trickle appears, clear, cold, running in silver threads. The willows bend, drink, leaves turning green before his eyes. The goat rises, drinks from the newborn creek. Her bell rings once, clear, true. The flat stone shifts. A vault rises from the earth. Smaller than the first, iron green with age, door etched with the same goat. It opens without touch. Inside, darkness, but not empty. Filled with the scent of cedar and the promise of return. Silas steps forward. The goat waits at his side, eyes steady. The creek sings louder, the willows taller, the valley breathing with him. He reaches into the vault, fingers brushing something soft. Cloth, warm, alive. Silas's fingers close around the cloth, soft as a child's cheek, warm as Maria's hand in his. He lifts it into the lantern light. A bundle no larger than his fist, wrapped in faded red wool, the same thread that bound the pouches. The goat leans in, nose brushing the fabric, and a single tear, his own, falls onto the wool. The cloth drinks it, darkens, then glows faintly, silver as moonlight on water. He unwraps it slowly, reverently, each fold a prayer. Inside, a single acorn, black and shining, veined with silver like the creek now singing behind him, and a strip of bark, thinner than the last, words burned in a hand that trembles with age. The acorn remembers the mother tree. Plant it where the vault weeps. The song will call her home. Silas's breath catches. The goat lowers her head, touches the acorn with her nose. Gentle, trusting. A gesture that breaks his heart open again. He presses the acorn to his lips, tastes earth and cedar and the salt of his own longing. The vault hums low and steady, sinking with the creek, with his pulse, with the valley's slow awakening. He stands, legs trembling not from age but from the weight of being chosen twice. The goat starts along the creek bed, bell chiming soft, water parting around her hooves like a blessing. Silas follows, the acorn warm against his chest, the lantern unnecessary now. Silver light spills from the creek, from the willows, from the goat's eyes. The grove thickens, willows giving way to cottonwoods, leaves whispering the lullaby he sang in the chamber. They reach a place where the creek widens into a pool, black and still, reflecting stars though night has not yet fallen. On its far bank, a stone vault, smaller still, half buried in earth, its door cracked open like a mouth mid-prayer. Water seeps from the crack, slow tears feeding the pool. The goat wades across, water rising to her belly, then her chest, then her neck. She does not falter. Silas follows, the pool warm as blood, rising to his waist, his heart. He reaches the vault. The door is etched with the mother tree roots deep, branches wide, a goat curled at its base. He places his palm against the crack. The stone is hot, weeping. The acorn pulses, eager. Alive, he kneels in the water, digs with his hands, soil soft, rich, fragrant with life. The goat stands beside him, bell silent now, eyes liquid with faith. He places the acorn in the earth, covers it gently, presses the bark strip into the dirt above it. The water rises, laps at his wrists, his elbows, his shoulders. A rumble deep, ancient. The vault door swings wide. Inside, darkness, but not empty. Filled with the scent of cedar and the sound of wind through leaves that are not yet grown. Silas raises the lantern, though the silver light is enough. Shelves line the walls, clay jars, bundles of sage, a child's wooden bell painted gold and the center, a stone table. On it, a single object, a seedling, no taller than his hand, leaves silver as moonlight, roots glowing faintly. The goat circles it, then lies down, head on her paws. Silas approaches, heart pounding with a mix of terror and wonder. He touches the seedling. It hums the same note as the acorn, the creek, the vault. A leaf falls into his palm, warm, alive. He tucks it behind his ear, beside the silver leaf that was once the first seed's promise. The vault door begins to close, slow as a sigh. Silas steps back. The creek sings louder, the pool deeper, the willows taller. The seedling grows as he watches, stem thickening, leaves spreading, until a sapling stands knee-high in the vault's heart. The goat rises, drinks from the pool. Her bell rings once, clear, true. The vault seals, the pool stills. The grove is silent, but not empty, filled with the promise of return. Silas stands in the water, the sapling's light reflecting in his eyes, tears running free now, mixing with the creek. He understands, the debt is not paid, it is beginning to be paid. The song is not finished, it is learning new verses. The goat starts along the creek, bell chiming soft again. Silas follows, the sapling's leaf warm behind his ear, the path ahead unmarked, the valley breathing with him. The creek winds north, silver thread through green, its song growing richer with every step. Silas walks beside it, boots soaked, heart lighter than it has been in decades. The sapling's leaf behind his ear glows faintly, a small lantern against the dusk. The goat trots ahead, bell chiming like a promise kept. They pass beneath cottonwoods older than memory, trunks scarred by lightning, roots drinking deep. The air is thick with the scent of water and cedar, with the faint sweetness of something blooming unseen. Silas's shadow stretches long, no longer thin with loneliness but full with purpose. He sings under his breath, the lullaby, now layered with creek, vault, acorn, sapling. Night falls soft. They camp on a sandbar, fire small but fierce. Silas feeds it sage and willow, flames dancing like the joy he once knew with Maria. The goat curls beside him, bell silent, breathing slow and sure. He studies the bark strip by firelight, though he knows every word. The acorn remembers the mother tree. He presses the leaf to his lips, tastes earth and hope. Sleep comes gentle, dreams filled with Maria's smile. The goat's eyes, the valley's slow awakening. Morning. Mist curls over the creek like breath from a sleeping giant. The goat is already moving, bell chiming soft into the white. Silas follows, the path narrowing, willows giving way to pines. The air grows cooler, scented with resin and high cold. They reach a place where the creek splits around a boulder, flat and wide, etched with the mother tree. Water flows over it, clear, cold, singing in two voices. The goat steps onto the boulder, drinks from both streams. Her bell rings once, clear, true. The boulder trembles. A crack appears, thin as a hair. Water seeps through, then stops. A vault rises from the creek. Smaller than the last, stone green with moss, door etched with the mother tree in full leaf. Silas wades across, water to his knees, his heart. The door is warm, weeping. He places his palm against the tree. The stone remembers his touch. The door swings wide, slow as a sigh. Inside, darkness, but not empty, filled with the scent of pine and the sound of wind through leaves. Silas raises the lantern, though the creek's silver light spills in. Shelves line the walls, clay jars, bundles of pine needles, a child's wooden flute carved with a goat. In the center, a stone table. On it, a single object, a pod, long as his finger, silver as moonlight, pulsing slow. The goat circles the table, then lies down, head on her paws. Silas approaches, heart pounding with faith and fragile wonder. He lifts the pod. It is warm, heavier than it should be. A seam appears, opens like a mouth. Inside, a single seed, silver as the leaf, veined with green, and a strip of bark, thinner still, words burned in a child's hand. Asterisk, the pod remembers the first breath. Plant it where the mother weeps. The song will call the children home. Asterisk. Silas's eyes burn. He presses the seed to his chest, feels it pulse with his own heart. The vault door begins to close. Silas steps back, the pod warm in his hand. The creek sings louder, the boulder submerged, the pines taller. The goat rises, drinks from the creek. Her bell rings once, clear, true. The vault seals. The creek stills. The grove is silent, but not empty, filled with the promise of children's laughter yet to come. Silas stands in the water, the seed's light reflecting in his eyes, tears running free now, mixing with the creek. He understands. The debt is not his alone. It is the valley's, the land's, the children's. The goat starts along the creek, bell chiming soft again. Silas follows, the seed warm against his heart, the path ahead unmarked, the mother tree waiting. The creek climbs now, a silver ladder into the mountains. Silas follows, breath shorter, legs burning. But the seed's pulse steadies him like Maria's hand once did. The pines thicken, needles muffling the bell's chime to a heartbeat. Snow begins to dust the ground, soft as forgiveness. They reach a shelf of stone where the creek springs from a crack in the cliff. Water falls in a thin veil, weeping silver tears into a pool no larger than a cradle. The goat steps beneath the veil, drinks, bell ringing clear through the mist. The cliff hums, low and steady, the same note as the seed, the pod, the mother tree. Silas kneels. The pool is black, still, reflecting the falling snow like stars. On its rim, a stone, flat, warm, etched with the mother tree in full leaf, a single tear at its root. He places his palm against the tear. The stone weeps warmer. The goat circles the pool, then lies down, head on her paws. Silas unwraps the seed, silver and green, pulsing slow. He digs with his hands, soil cold, rich, fragrant with pine and memory. The goat watches, eyes liquid with trust. He plants the seed, covers it gently, presses the bark strip into the earth above it. The veil of water thickens, falls harder, singing in 1,000 voices. A rumble deep, ancient. The cliff splits, slow as a sigh, revealing a vault. Stone white as bone, door etched with the mother tree and a circle of children holding hands. Silas stands, water to his waist, his heart. The door is warm, weeping. He places his palm against the children. The stone remembers his touch. The door swings wide, slow as a lullaby. Inside, darkness, but not empty, filled with the scent of pine and the sound of children laughing far away. Silas raises the lantern, though the veil's silver light spills in. Shelves line the walls, clay jars, bundles of pine cones, a child's wooden goat with a silver bell. In the center, a stone cradle. In it, a single sapling, no taller than his knee, leaves silver and green, roots glowing faintly. The goat circles the cradle, then lies down, head on her paws. Silas approaches, heart pounding with faith and fragile wonder. He touches the sapling. It hums the same note as everything before. A leaf falls into his palm, warm, alive. He tucks it behind his ear, beside the silver leaf, the pod's promise. The vault door begins to close. Silas steps back, the sapling's light reflecting in his eyes, tears running free now, mixing with the veil. The goat rises, drinks from the pool. Her bell rings once, clear, true. The vault seals. The veil stills. The cliff is silent, but not empty, filled with the promise of children's footsteps yet to come. Silas stands in the water, the sapling's leaf warm behind his ear, the path ahead unmarked, the mother tree calling. He understands. The debt is not his to finish. It is his to carry, to plant, to sing into the waiting world. The goat starts up the mountain, bell chiming soft again. Silas follows, the seed's light in his heart, the snow falling soft as hope. The snow thickens as they climb, flakes large as communion wafers, silent as held breath. Silas walks in the goat's hoofprints, each step a small resurrection. The sapling's leaf behind his ear glows brighter, a green star against the white. The mountain breathes around them, pine scent sharp with cold. They reach a ridge where the world drops away. Below, the valley lies silvered, the creek a shining vein, the vaults hidden but pulsing. Above, a cliff face rises sheer, black stone veined with ice. In its center, a single crack weeps a thin stream of water, frozen into silver lace. The goat steps to the lace, licks it. Her bell rings once, clear, true, and the ice shatters like glass. Water gushes, warm, steaming in the cold. A vault appears in the cliff, stone white as bone, door etched with the mother tree now ringed by children and goats. Silas wades through the steam, water to his knees, his heart. The door is hot, weeping. He places his palm against the circle. The stone remembers every hand before his. The door swings wide, slow as dawn. Inside, darkness, but not empty, filled with the scent of pine and the sound of children singing far away. Silas raises the lantern, though the steam's silver light spills in. Shelves line the walls. Clay jars, bundles of pine needles, a child's wooden flute carved with a goat and bell. In the center, a stone cradle. In it, a single pod, long as his forearm, silver and green, pulsing slow. The goat circles the cradle, then lies down, head on her paws. Silas approaches, heart pounding with faith and fragile wonder. He lifts the pod. It is warm, heavier than memory. A seam appears, opens like a mouth. Inside, a single seed, silver and green, veined with gold, and a strip of bark, thinnest yet, words burned in a trembling hand. Asterisk, the pod remembers the first song. Plant it where the mountain sings. The children will follow the bell. Asterisk. Silas's eyes burn. He presses the seed to his lips, tastes pine and hope and Maria's name. The vault door begins to close. Silas steps back, the pod warm in his hand. The steam thickens. The cliff weeps louder, the pines taller. The goat rises, drinks from the stream. Her bell rings once, clear, true. The vault seals. The stream stills. The ridge is silent, but not empty, filled with the promise of children's voices yet to come. Silas stands in the snow, the seed's light reflecting in his eyes, tears freezing on his cheeks like small stars. He understands. The debt is not his to end. It is his to pass, to plant, to sing into the waiting world. The goat starts along the ridge, bell chiming soft again. Silas follows, the seed warm against his heart, the path ahead unmarked, the mountain singing. The ridge narrows to a knife edge, snow swirling like incense. Silas walks the blade, one hand on the goat's warm flank, the other clutching the seed against his chest. The mountain sings, low, steady, the same note as the pod, the cradle, the children's distant laughter. Wind cuts sharp, but the seed's warmth spreads through his coat, through his bones, through the hollow where grief once lived. They reach a shelf where the cliff opens into a cavern mouth, round as the first vault, framed by ice that glows silver. Water drips from the lip, each drop ringing like the goat's bell frozen in time. The goat steps beneath the drops, drinks. Her bell rings once, clear, true, and the ice melts into a curtain of silver rain. Silas follows through the rain, water warm on his face, washing away tears he no longer needs to hide. The cavern is vast, ceiling lost in shadow, floor smooth as polished bone. In the center, a stone altar rises, no taller than his waist, its surface etched with the mother tree now ringed by children, goats, and a single old man with a beard like his. At its heart, a hollow shaped like the seed. The goat circles the altar, then lies down, head on her paws. Silas approaches, heart pounding with faith and fragile wonder. He unwraps the seed, silver and green veined with gold, pulsing slow. He places it in the hollow. It sinks, swallowed by stone. A rumble, deep, ancient, the mountain itself breathing. The altar splits, slow as a sigh, revealing a vault beneath, stone white as moonlight, door etched with the mother tree in full bloom, children dancing beneath its branches. The door is warm, weeping. Silas places his palm against the children. The stone remembers every song before his. The door swings wide. Inside, darkness, but not empty, filled with the scent of pine and the sound of children laughing close now. Silas raises the lantern, though the rain's silver light spills in. Shelves line the walls, clay jars, bundles of pine cones, a child's wooden bell painted gold. In the center, a stone cradle. In it, a single sapling, no taller than his heart, leaves silver, green, and gold, roots glowing faintly. The goat circles the cradle, then lies down, head on her paws. Silas approaches, heart full to breaking. He touches the sapling. It hums, the same note as everything before. A leaf falls into his palm, warm, alive, silver, green, and gold, veined with light. He tucks it behind his ear, beside the silver leaf, the pod's promise, the seed's hope. The vault door begins to close. Silas steps back, the sapling's light reflecting in his eyes, tears running free now, mixing with the rain. The goat rises, drinks from the rain. Her bell rings once, clear, true. The vault seals. The rain stills. The cavern is silent, but not empty, filled with the promise of children's footsteps yet to come. Silas stands in the snow, the sapling's leaf warm behind his ear, the path ahead unmarked, the mother tree singing. He understands. The debt is not his to finish. It is his to carry, to plant, to sing into the waiting world. The goat starts into the cavern's depths, bell chiming soft again. Silas follows, the sapling's light in his heart, the mountain breathing with him. The cavern breathes deeper now, air thick with pine and the faint sweetness of sap. Silas walks in the goat's shadow, each step lighter, as if the mountain itself lifts him. The sapling's leaf behind his ear glows steady, silver, green, gold, veins pulsing like a second heart. The bell chimes soft, a lullaby woven through stone. The passage widens into a hall vast as the sky turned inside out. Columns of living rock rise, roots threading through them like silver veins. Water drips from the ceiling, each drop a note in the mountain's song. In the center, a pool, black, mirror still, reflecting the roots above like stars below. On the pool's rim, a stone cradle waits, white as bone, etched with the mother tree now ringed by children, goats, and an old man with a beard like his, holding a leaf. The goat circles the cradle, then lies down, head on her paws. Silas approaches, heart full to overflowing. He kneels, presses his palm to the cradle. The stone is warm, weeping, a rumble gentle, ancient. The cradle splits, slow as a sigh, revealing a vault beneath, stone white as moonlight, door etched with the mother tree in full bloom. Children dancing, goats leaping, the old man singing. The door is warm, weeping. Silas places his palm against the old man. The stone remembers every voice before his. The door swings wide. Inside, darkness, but not empty. Filled with the scent of pine and the sound of children laughing close now, footsteps echoing. Silas raises the lantern, though the pool's silver light spills in. Shelves line the walls, clay jars, bundles of pine cones, a child's wooden bell painted gold, a child's wooden flute carved with a goat. In the center, a stone cradle. In it, a single pod, long as his forearm, silver, green, and gold, pulsing slow. The goat circles the cradle, then lies down, head on her paws. Silas approaches, heart pounding with faith and fragile wonder. He lifts the pod. It is warm, heavier than memory. A seam appears, opens like a mouth. Inside, a single seed, silver, green, and gold, veined with light, and a strip of bark, thinnest yet, words burned in a child's hand. The pod remembers the first breath. Plant it where the mountain weeps. The children will follow the song. Silas's eyes burn. He presses the seed to his lips, tastes pine and hope and Maria's name. The vault door begins to close. Silas steps back, the pod warm in his hand. The pool ripples. The roots glow brighter, the pines taller. The goat rises, drinks from the pool. Her bell rings once, clear, true. The vault seals. The pool stills. The hall is silent, but not empty, filled with the promise of children's voices yet to come. Silas stands in the light, the seed's light reflecting in his eyes, tears running free now, mixing with the pool. He understands. The debt is not his to end. It is his to pass, to plant, to sing into the waiting world. The goat starts into the hall's depths, bell chiming soft again. Silas follows, the seed warm against his heart, the path ahead unmarked, the mother tree singing. The hall breathes one final time, warm as a mother's sigh. Silas stands at the cradle's edge, the seed glowing in his palm like the last star before dawn. The goat lifts her head, bell silent now, eyes liquid with farewell. He kneels, presses the seed to his lips, then to hers, her muzzle warm, trembling. He places it in the cradle. The stone drinks it whole. A rumble rolls through the mountain, gentle as a lullaby's end. The cradle seals, the vault seals, the hall seals. Stone folding into stone, light folding into light. The goat rises. She walks to the pool's edge, steps onto the water. It holds her weight, silver glass beneath her hooves. She turns, looks at Silas once more. Eyes full of Maria, of children yet unborn, of every song he carried. Silas steps forward. The water holds him too. He walks until he stands beside her, hand on her warm flank. The bell is gone, but the mountain sings. His lullaby, Maria's voice, children laughing, goats leaping. The pool ripples. The hall dissolves. He is standing in the valley at sunrise, the creek full and singing, willows green, vaults hidden but pulsing. The goat is gone, but her warmth lingers in the air. Silas is older now, beard white as snow, eyes clear as the creek. In his hair, a crown of leaves, silver, green, gold, veins glowing faint. He walks the valley path, slow, steady, singing soft. Children follow, barefoot, laughing, bells around their goats' necks. They plant seeds where the vaults weep. They sing where the creek once ran dry. The mother tree grows in every heart, roots deep, branches wide. Silas walks among them, voice steady, hand on a child's shoulder. Years later, a girl will find the first bell, gold now, half buried in moss. She will ring it, hear the mountain, the creek, the lullaby, the old man's last step. She will follow her goat into the snow. The debt walks forever.